there has been a lot made of the Roommates podcast, and you have some fans, especially on Knicks Twitter. Knicks Twitter can be an angry bunch, and some of these guys are coming at these guys, and Jalen and Josh are saying, man, you guys got to get wins. You're not winning, man. Put down a podcast. So here was Jalen Brunson. He reacted to some of the naysayers who have an issue with these guys running the Roommates pod. So we're going to play the soundbite, and then I want to hear your reaction to it, and we'll react to it on the other side. Here we go.
You know what I mean? We had a game yesterday. This is a wild thing.
I mean, it's like every person outside of like the professional world where like there's like a spotlight on you has like what they do, what they love, and then they have like a little thing on the side that they love to do. Right. Mm-hmm. So I feel like me and Josh and Matt, like we just like the amount of times we hang out, we just like start talking about random stuff, and like, oh, like we have like good chemistry. We can actually make something out of it. And then it definitely gets criticized a lot. A lot.
What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
I think I personally, like, if I listen to every opinion that someone says about what I did or what I do, I would not be in the NBA. There's always going to be like, everything's a roller coaster ride. There's going to be ups and downs. It's just like, as long as you stay focused on the main thing, you do that first.
Yes.
Right? At least just do it to the best of your abilities, and then go forward. Then
I think it's cool that you guys get to frame the narrative.
Yeah.
That was like not a I mean, you obviously knew this growing up, the players we'd watched.
Right.
Whoever was in the media got to just, all right, Gary Payton's this, Kevin Garnett's this. You know what I mean? But you guys get to be like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty dope.
We get to address it on our own terms.
There was there's been I feel like a bunch of moments on the pod where I've been grateful that we have one. All
right, so I'm going to skip that part. That part's not important. Yeah. So your thoughts. Is it an issue with these guys having a pod, and, at the same time, the team is not playing up to expectations, man? What do you think, man?
It's funny because I actually have this discussion in the group chats all the time, and we'll have, us Knicks fans will just talk about all this stuff, because I have one that will call me every time. You see how your boy did today? He's doing that because of the pod. And I'm just like, all right, so you know what? Here's my thought on it, right?
Yeah.
Do people expect these players to be practicing 24/7?
It's fair.
Do they not have a social life? Do they not have, and on top of that, you're doing it with your teammate. So I feel this. You spend an hour or two a day out of the 24 hours we have, out of your busy schedule and stuff. What is the problem? Because at the end of the day, like what Brunson's saying, you're doing what you need to do first.
Yeah.
In order to get that out the way. Everybody has free time throughout a day. Realistically, nobody is gonna lock themselves in a room all day and just oh, I'm not gonna do anything. I don't need to be seen.
Except for Kobe.
Except for Kobe.
Kobe seemed like he was living in the gym. You know what I mean? LeBron too.
So it's just I feel like I could see where they're coming from, because there's distractions and stuff, but I feel like there's strong-minded people that first off. I feel like the majority of athletes have to be strong-minded to even be in there to begin with.
True. You right? be where? To be in the NBA.
Got you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So to be in the NBA, to be doing sports or anything like that, that's like hitting the lottery for a lot of people and stuff. And you have to have a certain type of determination. To throw that all away because you have a podcast? You think I'm just gonna play worse because I have a podcast? There's times that they dropped episodes that they filmed days ago and they're balling out. But some people think, oh, they're filming this yesterday and now they're playing bad today. It's like, no, that's not what it is. It's like everything comes in advance and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. You can't knock what these guys are doing on their private time. It don't take that long to record a podcast. They have a big enough podcast where all they probably have to do is just sit down in the chair and just wait for them to say, okay, action. And they go do their thing. Hour, 2 hours, you're done. So I don't have an issue with it, especially when it comes to Jalen and Josh Hart, because when I look at this team, those are up there with Mikal Bridges, the players who you worry about the least, because every day they bring it. Yeah. Every single day.
It's like if you're playing with your heart, you're playing, giving everything you got. It's like, granted, yes, Brunson didn't have a great game yesterday, but that's like rare. Right. He's always coming through with something.
He had a bad night. So, with those guys, you never have to worry about, maturity issues. Are they focused on the right things? No, I'm not worried about that, man. You're looking at Brunson. You just talked about how this offense is zooming, career highs in assists. Josh Hart, career highs in assists, rebounding like that. Like, these guys come to work every day. They're locked in, they're focused. I like that, especially with Brunson. We've been talking about it several times on this show. I like the way that he's elevating his brand. I like that in his own way. I think him and his team are doing a fantastic job of positioning him amongst the stars of this league. Especially,
and I think that was my bad.
No, I was just saying, just representing the jersey. I think he's doing a good job.
Absolutely, I think I think that was the biggest thing when even pitching him for All-Star last year. I know that was with it even being his first time and stuff. The brand wasn't as big as it is today. But what happened? We started seeing him in more commercials. They got the podcast and stuff. I remember I was invited out to Fanatics Fest, and then I'm seeing them do a live podcast with Tom Brady, Lil Wayne, and Speed and stuff that. And it's like, all these things are just going to help the brand even more to help bring a case of, okay, we got one of the best PGs in the league. And then you got people like Kendrick Perkins going out there saying Big Body Brunson, we got him, all of this stuff. All of these conversations, all of these looks help the brand to the point that it's like, all right, it coincides with his game at the end of the day. Yeah. And then we have something to preach and, be proud of and all that. Yeah,
there you go, man. So what do you guys think in the chat about that, man? What do you guys think? Do you have an issue with these guys filming the Roommates podcast? Rate the take in the chat. Let us know your comments, man, in the comment section. CP the Franchise. Iman Nunez on the Lunchtime Live, presented by SeatGeek. Ryan Manuel, Chuck D, man, another $5 super chat. Says the Roommates podcast, yes, it's a good thing to do with the downtime. 40 years ago, that downtime was cocaine in the NBA. It keeps them in the game. All right, so proper perspective from a legend that has seen it all. And he's absolutely right. You know what I mean? He's absolutely right, man. Before me and you time, Iman, they was getting after it. They out there chasing the dragon all night long. Studio 54. Who knows what's coming into the locker room. And then they going out on the court and dropping a double-double on your head. Those are different days.
Very different. Shout out to the Ryan Manuel.
Chuck putting it in perspective.
Oh man, that should go for everybody that's complaining about the podcast.
Right.
Look at that.
Right.
That's some positive stuff happening. Now they're making money. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Positive, man.